Hi, my name is Thomas Johnson, and I'm the founder and CEO of GetUpNGetFit Wellness Coaching Concierge. I'm also a C-suite advisor and investor, and you're listening to the How May I Serve You podcast, where I'm constantly on the quest to surround myself with the best coaches while learning how to better serve our executive clientele by asking them, how may I serve you? Today's show is sponsored by Get Up and Get Fit. And Get Up and Get Fit will be providing students with textbooks and school supplies in Cambodia in honor of our guest today, as well as our philanthropic mission to impact at least 50,000 people per year. And today's guest is Joelene Dredge. How you doing, Joelene?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me, Thomas.
Of course. Welcome. So, Joelene Dredge is a coach and consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute who helps people create the life they want and fulfill their dreams. Joelene, who is intensely growth and goal-oriented, helps individuals, groups, and companies discover their deepest desires, reach their potential, and achieve their personal and professional goals. Joelene, that's a great mission right there.
It is an awesome mission. It's something I wake up and do every day, and I'm so inspired to do it, just to hop out of bed and get rolling, because there's a lot of people out there to help.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Joelene, let's learn a little bit more about you. So, where are you from?
I am from the Omaha, Nebraska area, so the Midwest of the United States.
Okay.
Grew up in the state of Nebraska. So I'm Nebraska born and bred, and a Cornhusker all the way.
There we go. Awesome. So I want you to talk to me in terms of how did your upbringing, right, prepare you to be the woman you are today?
Well, I would have to say that I grew up on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, a lot of those small town. It was a small town, small area. So I have a lot of small town values and those, I don't know, the hard work values. I have a lot of those types of beliefs in me.
Okay.
So I always thought that was a good thing, and I think it is a good thing to some extent. But then I think also that the beliefs you have is what molds you into who you are.
Yes, indeed.
And some of our beliefs aren't necessarily, they're not all necessarily beliefs that, they've been beliefs, they're beliefs that we've been given by other people. So it's good to evaluate your beliefs.
Okay. So yes, all right. So basically, like you're the nurturing, right? Your surroundings. There has been an environmental factor that has influenced you to be the person you are right now, combined with growing up and exposing yourself to different different environments, different people. So it all takes a toll in terms of one's growth, I believe.
That is correct. It all does.
Yes,
your
indeed.
environment, your genetics. I mean, you can add genetics in there too.
Yes, of course, definitely. So being a person out in Nebraska, how did you stumble upon coaching?
That's an interesting question. I believe everything was meant to happen for a reason.
Okay.
And I believe this happened for a reason. I was in public education for many years, and I'd really done the gamut in education. I was a teacher, I was a coach, I was an administrator in the public education world. A friend of mine from Oregon invited me to it was a conference. It was a Bob Proctor conference.
Okay.
And I decided just to go because I wanted to spend some time with her. Not necessarily, I really didn't know the content at all. And so we met up and went to the conference. And, I come back from that conference and I pretty much told my husband I'm resigning from education. I'm done. So at that point, there was like, oh, she's going through midlife crisis. Well, it was like, there was major trauma going on in our household at that point. Do you really want to do this? But I just knew it was an emotional impact for me that weekend. Okay. A big emotional impact.
Okay. So what about this specific conference that's ignited that spark in you?
I would say it was about the beliefs. It was about that, we've been given man-made beliefs, and those beliefs have been handed to us and gifted to us. And not to say that the people that gave us those beliefs did the best they could with what they had. And, you're very grateful for those people to be in your life, because that is a point, as you said, in your life of where you're at the time. And just that, it's time to evaluate those beliefs. And then that this belief system is so ingrained into your subconscious mind. And so we're in habit mode 97% of the time.
We are.
And, mental activity isn't thinking. And so 97% of the time, we're in habit mode during the day in that mental activity, but not really thinking. So he taught me that weekend really how to start thinking. And that was what triggered it all for me. Like I said, an emotional impact.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny, people don't think about that, right? We are on constant automation because the brain does not like to burn calories, right? So
that's correct.
Once we learn something and the body learns that behavior, we just go. We get into these routines, and by the time we know it, it's on autopilot, right? We're going, we're repeating the same cycle over and over and over again until you snap out of that cycle by something abrupt or by learning something new. So I'm glad you were exposed to an environment that shifted your thinking, and being with a mentor like Bob Proctor, a person that has made tremendous impact in the world of coaching. I'm pretty sure you was definitely in a good place.
I was in a great place, and it just totally changed my whole world. It just totally changed my relationships, changed the way I looked at things. And I study to this very day. Every day I study. I study Bob and his teachings every day.
Awesome.
Because we continue to grow, we continue to evolve, we continue to become more and more aware.
Exactly.
And it's all about awareness.
It is. All right. So now let's go over towards the coaching aspect, right? So what's your approach to coaching?
What's my approach to coaching? Well, some people have, when you say that approach to coaching, I know that I think sometimes, I used to think a lot about, certain style, like, business coach, personal coach, a life coach. I really don't feel like that is, maybe something that I can really relate to. I would say that, I'm more of a transformational type coach.
Okay.
And it's more transformational in any area of your life. Maybe call me a change agent, if you will.
Okay.
Because, I work with business people. I work with businesses. I work with individuals. I work with families. I work with husbands and wives who are having relationship challenges. This material really works in any area of your life. So, I really don't have a niche, if you will. So I just, call me a change agent or call me a transformational coach.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned you work with various sorts of people, right? You mentioned business folks, couple, and etc. So you don't have an avatar. You're very flexible in terms of the clientele.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So
everybody needs what we have. Everybody.
That's true. Everybody needs a coach. That's definitely, I agree with you 100%. So part of the reason why I ask that question is because I've worked with plenty of coaches, right? And everyone have their own style of coaching. So that's why I like to really get a better understanding of how individuals approach coaching. Some people are more empathetic when it comes to coaching. Others are more hands-on. Others are more a structure and just follow the manual, right? So I would like to understand how an individual approach coaching.
Okay. Well, we do offer a program. It's called Thinking into Results. Is what Bob Proctor coaches offer. They
Okay.
offer a program, but the actual style that I give people, I'm their accountability partner, if you will.
Okay.
I help hold them accountable to their goals and what they're looking to do in their life. I understand you have to have some empathy in there.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because we're all in a different place. We're all in that different level of different place on that awareness scale, and we're all learning and growing. And then sometimes I just have to kick people in the rear, because that's what they need. So I tell them I'm not your friend, I'm your coach, and I'm here to help you, make changes in your life, make some big changes in your life.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
And if you're up for that, if you're committed to it, if you're committed to do your part, I'm committed to do mine.
Yes, indeed.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people need that reminder, right? Because they get a bit relaxed when it comes to getting to their obligations, right? If they think they're your friend.
And I think too, they get caught up in their day-to-day routine.
True.
Their habits. Their habits are just all constantly there. So they need, that outside eye, that outside look in to help them to see what they're missing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So now I'm gonna have you put yourself in the shoes of a prospect, right?
Okay.
If a prospective client was looking for a coach, they're in the discovery phase right now, what traits would you advise for them to look for?
I would probably tell them to look for somebody they could connect with, that they connect with well. Somebody that they make a connection with right away. Go with that intuition, go with that feeling, that gut feeling, because intuition is one of our mental faculties that we need to use more of. In fact, we don't use it very well at all, mostly. Most of us don't in this world. And you just want to feel that natural connection to them. Somebody that can hold you accountable and keep you on track, keep you going. That may mean, a call in the middle of the week, even though you don't have a coaching call you had at the beginning of the week. It may be, whatever it takes to help keep them accountable. Somebody that can give them the tools that they need to be successful. And, somebody that has content that really resonates with them, that has the information that they're looking for.
Okay.
So that's what I would say, they need to be looking for in a coach.
Yeah. Those are all great tips right there. Definitely. So now I'm going to dive into storytelling time, right? I love stories. So I want you to share with us a time where you help to elevate one of your coaching clients, right? You help to get them out of a funk, out of a hurdle. Do you have any examples you can share with us?
Well, I'd love to share a personal example with you. So my youngest daughter, when she was in high school, or when she was in teenager, her and I really didn't hit it off. And this was prior to me getting into this material. And we had a lot of challenges, which I think might help a lot of people out there, because if you have teenagers, you might have some challenges with your teenagers, right? I know I'm not the only one that had challenges with my teenagers. And so once I was into this material a couple months, there was an incident that happened at school, and we started having a chat about that incident. And anyway, I was very calm, and I handled it in a much different way. I changed my perception of her. I started looking at her, and prior to this incident, I started looking at her in a different way. What is the good that's in her? Look for the good. There's that law of polarity out there in the universe, and that law of polarity says, where there's not so good, or what we perceive not so good, there's also, the good.
Yes, indeed.
Everybody has good in them.
Mm-hmm.
But we perceive a lot of things as not being good. It's our perception as being not good. So I totally changed my perception of my daughter and what I saw in her. And I pulled out all the good, and I sit and I wrote down. I just brainstormed all the good things that were in her. And, when that incident occurred that we needed to deal with, it was all handled through perception of how I saw the good in her. And, after that incident, you change the way you look at things. The way you look at things changes. It's a Wayne Dwyer
Exactly.
quote.
It's a mirror effect.
Yes. And it's so true. That, after that incident and after we worked through it, she looked at me and she goes, "Who are you?" So she recognized the change in me. And, there's no monetary value to that. There was no monetary value to that, but you can't put a monetary value on a relationship. And our relationship has just grown and grown since then.
That's amazing.
So I would say that is my biggest success story with this material.
Wow. So it changed you. It changed your outlook and your perspective on life and people, right? And especially your household, because oftentimes we give our energy to others, and when it comes to our initial family members, we don't give them as much, right? So
You're right.
going through the
You're right.
material and becoming a coach, it changed the way you looked at everyone. And that's amazing.
And it really improved my relationships with my friends, with my family, with just, it just changed. It just changed. And there's a calmness about me now that was never there before.
Oh, wow.
That people speak about with me. I used to be pretty uptight and pretty, everything had to be just like this.
Yeah, yeah. I said that's pure honesty right there, and that's what it's about. It's about being transparent, right? Admitting that you used to be uptight and now you are different individuals. That's a beautiful metamorphosis.
Yeah, I would have to say there were times when my family didn't want to be around me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that's a sad thing? That's a very sad thing. But it was just that's who I was. I was just that. There was a point in my life where I really didn't know who I was, and I didn't know, what I wanted in life. And I think that's why. And I'm so grateful for this material every day because of what it's done for myself and for my family.
That's
and for my
amazing right
clients.
there. That's amazing. Joelene, that's an amazing story. Thanks for sharing that, because being able to be transparent, right? When you're able to be transparent, you also allow others to be transparent as well, right? You help to build that know, like, and trust factor, because you have your arms open. I'm here. This is me. All right. I've been through this, these experiences, and this is who I became. This is what I've learned along the line, and this is why I love connecting myself with coaches, because of this exact moment right here, right? I feel your energy,
Yeah. And I tell all my clients, I said, I'm on this journey with you. I'm on this journey with you. Bob is our mentor. Bob is the teacher. I'm here to go through it with you. And I'm going through the same thing you're going through. I may be on a different awareness level, but we're continuing to learn together.
The human experience. I love it. Joelene, what drives you as a coach, as a person? What drives you?
What drives me? I see people change in front of my eyes every day. I see people getting aha moments. And in the education world, I thought I would die in a school building. I really did.
Oh, wow.
back in the years. I just thought I'd be there forever. And, I've always been one to serve, in that capacity. It was with students. But now I serve on a bigger platform, on a bigger level. And I serve more people. And and it's in a totally different way. It's in a way that will be with people for the rest of their lives.
Mm. I love that. So, Joelene, I'm gonna ask you a question right now. So, because you came from a different experience, because you was at a different space and state, and now you are at the point where you are right now. I know there are so many other people who are stuck in their ways, right? Who are in a place with limited belief, right? They feel as if there is no change, that they are going to be in that place forever, right? What will or what can you tell to this person, this individual, um, to wake them up, to ignite the flame within themselves, and give them the opportunity to work with a coach?
I would have to say you have infinite potential within you. I mean, our mind is just amazing. We all have the same minds, but our minds are just arranged differently. And that's because of our experiences we've had. But it's all locked up inside of you. And it's underneath some of these beliefs that really don't serve you. So, think about what you've dreamed about doing, what you've wanted to do, be, or have. Think about that and let it come out on paper. Just make a list of the things you want to do with your life. I always say that the richest place in this world is a cemetery. And it's because there's a lot of dreams that are buried there that were left unborn. And just know that anything that you want in your life, if it feels good to you, then it was meant for you. It was meant for you. So, just take a look at that and think about your dreams. And are you doing what you really want to do? Are you doing those things? And if you're not, now's the time. Do it. Find a coach, whoever it might be. Find someone that you can relate to that can help you through this process. And, go for it. Because we only have one life, right? We only have one life. And time is ticking. So don't let any more time tick away.
There you go. There you go. I'm inspired. I am inspired. So, Joelene, are you currently working on any new projects or new programs that you could share with us?
The program that we offer through Proctor Gallagher Institute is called Thinking into Results, and it's a 12-lesson program. And it starts out with goals and really, what is your dream? This isn't a goal that you know how to achieve. We push you past that point to those dreams, get you out of your comfort zone, and get you really thinking about the direction you're moving and what you really want in life. And probably the biggest hang up I would say that people have is knowing doing gap. And we do a lot with, we all know what to do. We all have tons and tons of knowledge, but we don't take action. And so getting out of that comfort zone, getting past that terror barrier, if you will, getting past what other people think of you, getting past the fear, the anxiety, just really understanding why you have those things, first of all. So why do we have fear? Fear is an emotion. But understanding fear, and once you understand fear, you can go through it much easier. Yes. So, that's, like I said, it's a 12-lesson, it's a 6-month program is what we offer our clients now. And that's with weekly coaching from myself and from Proctor.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Joelene, if someone were to inquire about your services or just want to get to know you better, where can they find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me, just email me. It's pretty simple. We keep it simple at Proctor Gallagher. We keep it as simple as we can.
Okay.
My email address is Dredge, Dredge, my last name, the number 2 @gmail.com. And, look me up on LinkedIn, message me. I'd be happy for anybody listening to this podcast to offer them a 30-minute strategy call where we'll just get to know each other, and I'll find out where you're at and what you're wanting to do, and hopefully pinpoint for you what's holding you back in that 30 minutes.
Awesome. So Joelene, I want you to because of course there are going to be a lot of listeners, right? So if you could, can you please spell out your name, your first and last name?
Sure. Joelene, Joelene. I have a brother named Joel, so a lot of people mess that up. So they made Joelene out of Joel. And then Dredge, Dredge.
Awesome.
Like you're dredging a ditch.
There you go. So Joelene, thank you for coming on today's episode of How May I Serve You? So before you leave, I have one last question for you, and that is, how may I serve you?
I think you already have by having me join you on this podcast. So I just appreciate the opportunity to be here. And thanks so much for having me and for allowing me to share my passion with your people.
Awesome. And thanks for coming on once again. So again, this is your host, Thomas Johnson. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to share with someone that would benefit. And make sure to tune in for next week's episode. Take care, be blessed, and cheers. We're out.